All right, y'all. Welcome back to Grown Man's Game. We're putting on our sixth episode now. With your host Gerrit Ritt here, formerly of the Jim Rome Show, NBC Sports, Fox Sports, TMZ Sports, and all the rest. And I'm here with my man Johnny Ballgame. We're going to talk a little fantasy sports today, considering we are at the MLB All-Star break. There's not a hell of a lot of actual sports going on right now, unless you give a damn about the ESPYs, which I certainly didn't. John, do you even care about the ESPYs? Did you watch them at all last night? Exactly. So
Pat McAfee, they're all just ripping people and doing their own little dialogues. Yeah, that was the logo.
no thanks for me. So I didn't watch any of that. So we're going to talk a little fantasy because a lot of the our fantasy books are out these days. We got a lot of mock drafts coming up. We're both fantasy geeks. You see my man in his Alvin Kamara's jersey. I don't know why. Not the smartest jersey to wear, perhaps right now. Of course, you're talking to a man who's wearing his Christian McCaffrey Panthers jersey, and he no longer exists either. He's on another team, so we're both kind of idiots, but we love it. We do it every year. We've been in the same league several times. And now we're going to talk about what we would do in this year's first round because many other years, you're going to have obvious top three, top five, especially your top pick. This year, I don't even see a consensus number one at all. No. Hell, my number one could be someone else's number five and vice versa. Mm-hmm. John, what are you looking at so far? If you had an overview really quickly of this year's fantasy draft first round, what's something you think of, something that you overriding thought?
We've been playing this for what, 15, 17, 18 years. I don't like taking a receiver in the first round. And that seems like that's the new thing. That's the latest flavor of the month. Justin Jefferson, Chase, Cup. I just can't do it. They're sexy. You'd love to have them. They hit home runs, but I got to stick with the running backs.
Hold on. Don't give me your first round. Don't give me your first round pick yet. We're going to get there in a second because we're going to go back and forth. What we're going to do is John's going to start off. He's going to give his top pick. I'll go number two. We'll go Malinois mono all the way through the first round and, have to see what we come up with. Right. My whole thought is when a couple of years ago, I just looked at some mock drafts from like 3-4 years ago. It was 9, 10 running backs in the first round. I mean, you wouldn't even consider taking a wide receiver until the 10th or 11th pick. Now, wide receivers are considered to be the top pick, which I can't even imagine, perhaps since the days of Jerry Rice or some back in there, that someone could actually even consider doing that. But this year, now it's happening again. I'm not a huge fan of it. Doesn't sound like you're a huge fan of it. Why are people even considering taking wide receivers when there are probably 30 not top tier, but in the top tiers, and running backs, there's only a handful of them.
I agree, man. I mean, this is football, right? You have one running back. You may have a fullback, but you have 2 or 3 wide receivers. There's a plethora of great wide receivers, and that's always the fun for me, is to try to find these gems, these wide receivers that are second, third years. So I need a stable of running backs, dude. I need to know that I have my running backs, because it's hard to find those running backs during the year. And if I have a stable of running backs, I can make some trades to get some wide receivers.
Exactly. And you, in almost any other year, you can find a team's number one receiver down in the 7th, 8th round. There's plenty of guys that are still there and that will contribute. Sometimes in a pretty big way. They're not all Justin Jeffersons and Cooper Kupps, but damn it if they won't be serviceable. And that's why I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that you'd ever take one number one, especially when you'd have to wait 23 picks to get your next one, and suddenly 10 or 15 wide running backs are off the board and you're stuck with the 15th guy.
Just to play devil's advocate, though, I could see taking Jefferson number one. I'm not going to do that with you right now, but he's a monster. He is tried and true, pretty healthy. He's a surefire thing. So there are running backs too in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds, and that's another strategy. So taking Jefferson's not stupid. It's just you better do your work on getting some running backs, and getting that depth working inside out.
All right, so we'll start right now then. You are on the clock. If it had to be today, and now these things can change. I mean, there's a month before things get started. I think the first game is not until early October. So
we have Hard Knocks though with Rodgers.
Maybe late September, yeah. And we got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
But as of what the hell is today, John? September something or other? I don't even know what today is. As of today,
I think it's July, somewhere in the summer, I hope.
Right?
Yeah.
As of July 13th, who would you take as your number one pick in the draft?
Okay, and we're going PPR, right? So
we are going PPR. I know a lot of people don't like that. I think that's kind of the going league these times. I often play in half-point PPRs. A lot of people play in fulls and take some points off here and there.
Some don't play with PPR, so I mean, you got to utilize all the skills. So my number one pick is Austin Ekeler. With all these
no O in there, I don't know where your O is coming from, but all right, Ekeler. I don't know where that's coming from.
Ekeler.
All right, I
get it.
I like it.
I've had him injury prone, and so are all the running backs in the first round. Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Henry's interesting. But
Saquon.
My number one reason for Ekeler is Herbert. The fact that he can change the field at any moment, that he produces offense. He puts them in situations where Ekeler can thrive. So that's my pick.
He's as consistent as anybody. I would have gone the same route, honestly. But a lot of people are going wide receiver. Some people are taking Christian McCaffrey as number one, which I think is a major risk, only because of health. Actually, you said Ekeler could have been an injury risk. He's only missed 8 games in his career. In 6 seasons, he's only missed 8 games. The season
I had him,
to injury. I think he missed 6 one year and then 2 another.
I think he had 18 touchdowns last year. He had like 1,800 total yards, and I just love the opportunities he gets.
107 receptions that dude had last year, and if you can believe it, in 6 years, that guy has never had 1,000-yard running season. Never.
Right. Yeah.
Never in 6 years. Yet he's good enough to where you'd be both of our number one picks this year.
Yeah.
And he's just consistent as hell, and he catches a bunch of balls. So I like it.
Number 2.
Number 2. This is a hard one because obviously I'm a McCaffrey fan. I can't trust him. And I'm kind of going another guy that I don't trust, but last year he was a monster. He came back off all those injuries, and I'm going Saquon. Woo! I think he's got a better offense around him, a more confident quarterback.
Right.
And the guy had 1,600 yards last year and 10 TDs, and he missed a game.
Is he holding out? Isn't he holding out?
Running back.
Yeah. Isn't he holding out? I mean, what's the deal with him?
He could. He's got to sign a contract now. That's why we're doing this in July, and we don't know what's going to happen in 2 months.
Figuring if he starts, yes.
He said, you got to consider the fact they're all going to start, right?
Right.
Barkley may hold out. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Okay.
I considered a couple of the guys to the spot, but eventually I went with the talent. I went with the guy who doesn't have anybody else challenging him in the backfield at all.
I like it.
Barkley is my number 2.
I love it. All right, so number 3, JT, Jonathan Taylor, a runaway number 1 last year, got injured. Everyone gets down. Like, if you have a bad year, like, people are like, oh, you're not going to be back. Like, come on. The rookie quarterback, it will be a question mark, but they're gonna give him the ball. Jonathan Taylor, I'd sleep well at night having him at number 3. Absolutely, just move on, give it to me.
2021, he was an absolute monster beast. The guy put up 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns. I mean, that is number 1 running back. No wonder he went number 1 last year, but he destroyed fools last year. He destroyed everyone who took him. Just their leagues were ruined right away. And
my nephew is a Colts fan. My nephew and little brother are Colts fans, and they were My nephew was weeping just at the injuries and how bad and their meltdowns. It was tough, but I think they're going to be back. I
Then
do.
he came back and he had to deal with Matt Ryan. This year he's going to have to deal with Gardner Minshew because they're not giving the ball to Richardson
Really?
anytime soon. I don't think
Really?
Richardson's going to be their quarterback right away. Absolutely not right away. Probably not till at least halfway through the season. So good luck with Jonathan Taylor. I had him number 7 on my list
Okay.
because my third choice and who I'm going to be taking right now at number 4 is Nick Chubb.
Love it.
He's coming off his best year of his career. The man had 1,500 yards and 12 TDs. And now Kareem Hunt's gone. Hello, he's got no one in the backfield with him. He's
Right.
all by himself. ESPN has him rated as the 8th running back, which I think is absurd. I
Right.
have him as number 3. I had him ahead of Taylor. I have him ahead of McCaffrey. I think Nick Chubb is your guy. If you want consistency, now he's got the best quarterback he's ever played with
Right.
right now. If Deshaun can get his ass back in gear, Nick Chubb I think he's going to have just a ridiculously stupid season. And I love him at number 4. I would have taken him higher,
I
honestly.
like that. I like that. I think, the Deshaun Watson thing, hopefully the cloud is starting to be removed, the black cloud and all his stuff. He's talented. I think it was tough for him to just step on the field and dealing with people and all the backlash, but this should be a year that they thrive. So yeah, number 5. Jeez. Tough one.
I know. Are we still going running back? Or now are you thinking
Are
receiver?
you writing this down? I'm not writing it down, our picks. So
I'm writing it down.
All right, so give me the top 4 right now that we just did.
Oh, come on. You went Eckler, then I went Saquon.
Then
you went JT. I went Chubb.
All right, I'm going McCaffrey.
Yep.
I said earlier I wouldn't, but come on. Again, this is all about the health. But that offense, we don't know who's the quarterback. I think Brock Purdy is very overrated. And we'll see what he does with his injury. But that team, that defense, they want to get to the Super Bowl. I imagine they're going to rest McCaffrey a little bit and not overuse him. But yeah, give me that guy, dude. Is as talented as anyone in the league as a running back.
At 5, it's hard to pass on him. He did play in 11 games last year, and 2 of those you could say aren't even his fault because of the trade from the Panthers that he missed a couple of games and had to get acclimated. And he still put up 1,200 yards and 10 TDs. So that's pretty strong. He was healthy all year. However, he still only played in 27 games the last 4 seasons. I mean, that's not good. Hell, folks, that's not good. Could easily get a knock here and there. They got no one to back him up. So I would have been nervous.
And then you draft his backup. And I'm not sure who his backup is this year. I don't know if it's Mitchell or
Elijah Mitchell's still hanging out there. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you do that too. That's a whole nother draft strategy we'll talk about.
The guy I had right ahead of him, who I'll take now at number 6, and happy to do it, is Derrick Henry.
I love it. Yes.
So
monster.
Again, a lot of guys had him lower. I don't know why. I'm looking at it right now. But at 6, I think he's a steal. The guy is coming off most likely one of his best seasons. He had 1,500 yards. He was second in the NFL in rushing last year. He had 13 TDs. And that was what was considered as an off year. He had a shit quarterback, absolute terrible quarterbacking situation. He had to go with Malik Willis half the year. Ryan Tannehill was a mess. And now he's going to at least have hopefully a healthy Ryan Tannehill back. And I think he's hopefully has some decent receivers because he had none of them last year either.
Right.
After getting rid of A.J. Brown, everyone concentrated on him. I think he's going to be a monster again this year. Before we eventually see the decline of his after he's having like 300-400 attempts every season. This could be his last gasp at a really big season in rushing attempts. So I'm going with him. I'm going to ride that horse until he bucks me. I got Henry at 6th.
I love it. It seems like every year for the last few years that everyone's doubting him, like the usage. Yet he just continues to deliver. And you're right about the offense. If they could make a few more plays, he's all in the fourth quarter. He wears you down, man. I mean, biggest running back in the league. Love to have him. If he's healthy, I sleep well at night knowing he'll get 25 carries and a few goal line touches for sure.
And again, with the health thing, you would think a guy as big as him has missed some games. He's only missed 11 games in his career in 7 years.
Yeah,
11 games. That is
yeah.
ridiculous for a guy that does nothing but put his head down and goes straight into the line every time.
Love that
love
guy.
the dude.
All right,
you're up at 7.
This is tricky.
Is this where the tier happens? Is this where the
tier
things change?
This is it. So I'm pretty much the only guy that talked about Josh Jacobs coming out of Alabama, dude. I loved him. He played with I think Harris. So he wasn't that known. He wasn't like the full primary back. But I just love the way he fucking caught the ball and he runs tough. And look at him now. He's in the first round. He's a beast. And here's another free agency year for him. But I'm not taking him. I love him. I'm going with Justin Jefferson. I can't deny 1,800 yards, and he's probably going to have 18 touchdowns. Forget it. I'm selling out Justin Jefferson.
Wow. Okay, you had me for a loop there because
it was tough.
It was tough. You'll be happy to know that Josh Jacobs was my pick at that spot, and I'm going to take him here at 8.
Yeah, you are.
I had 7 running backs as my front tier.
Yeah.
We got rid of them all right now. Josh Jacobs was right there. I had Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs in the 6-7 spot.
Right.
And then once that tier went away, I think from 7 on is a total crapshoot. Now, a lot of people, and we'll see where one of you or I takes this guy, a lot of people are including Bijan Robinson.
No doubt.
From Texas, the rookie for the Falcons in that tier as well. I get it. I don't know if I'm going to pick him anywhere anytime soon. A lot of people are picking him top 5, top 10. I can't do it. Dude's a rookie. I have some rookie stats to back it up. We can get to it perhaps a little bit later, but I don't trust that. I do not trust a rookie running back being my number 1 guy. So I'm going with Josh Jacobs in the 8th spot. Couldn't be happier about that. The guy had a crazy year last year. He led the NFL in rushing.
Yeah.
Hello, and I just got him at number 8. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, the Bijan thing. I haven't looked at all the film or the highlights and that offense. Again, when you're drafting players, one of the biggest factors is the offense. Do they move the ball? You know, are they stagnant? You know, or do they like to throw the ball? Are they bad teams that get behind, so then they're having to throw the ball? Or there's so many different factors, and so Bijan, a lot of questions. He might be fun, but he could be a bust.
Do you even know the Falcons quarterback right now?
What is that? Wheeler? Not Wheeler. What's this?
Desmond Ritter.
Ritter Wheeler.
Can you name one wide receiver for them right now?
No.
Yeah. They're
Robinson is
garbage.
But they run the ball as good as anybody.
They do run the ball a hell of a lot, and that's great. And they're going to ding some little spot, passes to their tight end, who they love, but who's great.
That's right. Who's semi-bust. Anyway, so
Bijan's going to get a ton of work, but he's got also could easily get blown up quickly.
Yeah,
and be done.
I
don't trust it. You're on the clock at 9.
But I'd still be okay with Bijan. Sounds like he's just got enough, but I haven't looked at the film, so we can talk about that later. So now we're in the cloudy zone. We're in the what the hell's going on? Where are we going? So Travis Kelce, give him to me. Move on. I've got my tight end. I'll work on a running back and find my receivers later. So Kelce, he is that much better than all the tight ends. There's a couple, Kittle. What else am I missing? But there's not much competition with him. I know he gives me an advantage over that position, and I'll go 2 running backs after that.
There's no chance in hell I will ever end up with Travis Kelce on my team, because there's no chance in hell I will ever draft a tight end in the first round. I won't take one in the second round. That is a wasted pick in my mind.
Good.
You're just wasting
throwing
it out the window. I know Kelce's a monster. He's an absolute beast. He'll do this for you, but you are losing points for every single position from here on out.
Yeah.
I cannot justify it. I won't.
Yeah.
No chance in hell. I didn't even have him in my top 30.
Good.
I would have never drafted him. So
all right, you're taking Jamar Chase now, huh?
I'm taking Cooper. Taking Cooper
Cooper.
Kupp.
Yeah.
You just gave me Cooper Kupp with the 10th pick overall. I'll do it. Like I said, we hit our 7 running back top tier, maybe an 8th with an asterisk if you throw Bijan in there. We've taken all those guys minus Bijan, and now you've taken Jefferson, and thankfully you've taken Kelsey also. Handed Cooper Kupp to me on a platter. I'll happily take him at 10 and move on. Yes, he was hurt last year. He's going to come back. He's still the only receiver they really have. There's no Beckham, Van Jefferson's, nothing.
They're
Give me another guy on their
team.
team.
Mess,
I don't know who that is. Cooper Kupp is their offense right now.
Right. I know.
So he's going to get 15 targets a game, put up monster numbers the second he's back on the field.
A lot of issues, though, with Stafford, just so you know. They're questioning his commitment. He won his ring. He's tired. He's hurt. They're kind of a mess. Will Akers actually come back, and if they can run the ball well, they'll be good. I just don't feel it with the Rams.
Are you saying you wouldn't even take him in the first round? If I took Chase right there, would you have taken Kupp 11?
Probably. So I'll take Jamar Chase. Yes, right now. No doubt about it. Very happy to have him. I know the Kelsey pick was premature, but I'm still like, he's just so damn solid, dude. The games that Kelsey's had, and arguably the top 3 tight end of all time. But yeah, so Jamar Chase, let's rock.
Tough to argue. Now it comes down to the last pick of the first round, and
no pressure.
For me, it's a coin flip between Tyreek and the guy I will end up taking right now, and that's Davante Adams. Ooh. Davante is the main guy in Vegas.
G, how's the ankle?
Huh?
How's the ankle?
He is a monster, dude. He is going to be fine. You know,
Jimmy G. Fine. How's Jimmy G doing?
Huh? I don't care who their quarterback is. They're going to go to him 15 times a game, same as Cooper Kupp. No matter who your QB is, they're going to pepper Davante with balls constantly.
No doubt.
And there's other than Hunter Renfrow, am I really worried about Hunter Renfrow or someone else? They got rid of the tight end.
Waller,
He's in New York now. So they have Foster Moreau, who's coming off of cancer. I think I like the fact that I got one of the best wide receivers in the last 10 years in the NFL. Got him in the first round, and then I immediately would be able to come back and take another running back right here at 13, or I could pair Davante Adams along with Tyreek Hill, and tell me who has a better wide receiver combo than that in the league.
No one.
I don't care who you pair with Justin Jefferson right now, 4 picks from now. If I got Davante Adams and Tyreek, I am loving where I'm sitting. Or I have Davante and I immediately take Bijan Robinson as, the second rounder, I feel a little bit better about. Or I can go a different route, take a different running back right there. I don't know, Travis Etienne, Tony Pollard, Breece Hall, one of these guys.
Love Pollard.
Who could easily be my number 1 guy there too.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about round 2. Maybe we'll follow up on our draft and talk about the next couple rounds. But yeah, I love it, man. You're getting the juices flowing. I got to do my homework. Got to check out some highlights. Bijan Robinson. But yeah, man, very cool. Let's do this.
Before we go, just couple points on Bijan Robinson. I did my homework as far as rookie running backs goes. There has not been a top rookie running back in this league since Kareem Hunt back in 2017. He led the league in rushing but he did it out of nowhere. He was like an undrafted guy. Kareem Hunt came out of nowhere, did that, and then Alvin Kamara was a 3rd round pick, and he was a monster beast in 2017 as well. Those would have been legit first round picks, but no one was picking them. They were unknowns. Totally. Kamara had Mark Ingram in the same backfield, and no one was picking that guy. And then the following year in 2018, you could have made a case for Barkley. Saquon was drafted right then and had a really, really good year. He was second in the NFL in rushing that year. He had 15 TDs. So, yeah. But after that, nothing. No one was taken early in draft. No rookie running back was taken early in drafts. no rookie running back really did much other than Jonathan Taylor, and he wasn't being drafted until like the third or fourth round that year in 2020. So I'm going on like 6-7 years of history right now that's saying you should not be taking a rookie running back in the first round. Is
Right.
Bijan Robinson really that much of a stud to be going in the first round? I don't 100% buy it. He's going to a garbage team, and he could easily get beaten up because they have no one else on offense. So
Right.
I can't touch him. And if he goes off for 20 TDs and is a legend right away, then more power to him. I'm going to back off, and I don't see myself getting any Bijan love in any of the drafts I come up because he's always going to be picked too early for me.
All right. So I hear your point. And I said I want to watch the highlights. I also want to watch preseason, right? You can tell sometimes just by looking at a few plays if a guy's like, okay, he is ready to go. Arian Foster. Remember him?
Yeah. 15 years ago, sure.
Was it 15? Was it that long ago? Was it?
I don't know. Probably not that.
No, but he I saw him play a few preseason games. I'm like, I'm in. Third round, steal, led the league, was one of the best things you've ever seen.
So my point, you didn't draft him in the first round, top 10 or anything. No one was drafting.
No, I know, but third round, it was like, oh my gosh, what, this guy looks electric. But no, you're right. First round, rookies ain't gonna happen. And
last ones were Barkley, and then before that, Ezekiel Elliott in 2016. Led the league in rushing, was an absolute monster. To this day, that's his best season.
Right.
He's gone down. He had one other really good year, one other mediocre year, and he's not even in the league. He's not even on a team right now.
Right.
So it is an absolute risk. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
So just to recap, here's what we had in our first round. You went with Austin Eckler, number 1. I went with Saquon Barkley. You turned around and went with Jonathan Taylor. I took Nick Chubb. You took McCaffrey, who a lot of people are taking number 1 overall. You went with him at 5. I backed it up with Derrick Henry. Then finally, we went for the first, and number 7 went for the first wide receiver off the board. You went with Justin Jefferson. Again, that's the dichotomy. What do? Do you take wide receivers earlier than that? Or do you stick with running backs, old school style, like both of us did through the first 6 picks? Yeah. At 7, we finally took Jefferson. I turned around, took Josh Jacobs at 8.
Here's the clip.
Then you went with Jamar Chase. I went with Kupp. You went with Kelsey. And then I went Devontae Adams.
Right.
I think did I mix any of those up? I think you actually went with Kelsey earlier, didn't you? So
maybe, who knows? But yeah, we got the point.
Yeah. So that's it, though. That's our first round. We'll be back another time with our second round picks and moving on, or maybe do the first round over again once we get closer to the season. Both of us can't wait, though. The fact that fantasy football is even in discussion right now means that football is right around the corner. So training camp's a couple weeks away. I'm pumped. Johnny's pumped. Thanks again for joining us on Grown Man's Game. Johnny, got anything before we head out?
No, I love it. I'm glad I got the juices flowing. This is the dead time of the year in sports. We had the Wimbledon, but no, excited, dude. Let's keep it going, and we'll be back for round 2 and 3.
Beautiful. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back again soon.